All right, looks like we're live. So, welcome to today's Q&A. We're live right now answering some questions. So, it is April 4th, 2023. And it is noon o'clock, right around there, for Central U.S. Go ahead, put your questions in. Let me know what you are wondering, and we'll be able to answer them. So, we're talking about truck driving jobs here at Decker Truckline. We're mostly refrigerated and flatbed. We're currently available. So if you have specific questions, that's what the chat's for. Please throw them in there, whether it be about orientation, the different types of equipment that we have, just running lanes, pay, benefits, all of the above. Put it in the chat. Let's answer those questions for you. Ides of March, you're back. Good to see you. 102 degrees in Tampa. Well, we're definitely not there where I'm at. I'm looking, and it's saying about 29. Oh, this says -4. That's full of malarkey. 53 in the tri-state area, Dean says. Awesome. Yeah, we're not at either one of those yet, but we are. It is a nice day out. You know, when the wind isn't howling and going crazy. Speaking of wind going crazy and howling, there are some tornado warnings out there right now. There's a lot of severe weather. Actually, give me a second because I'm actually going to bring that up so that I'm giving you the right details. Stephen Hatton, the director of the refrigerated division, here we go. All right, he says the severe weather outbreak is in caution for this afternoon, so Tuesday this afternoon into Wednesday for large portions of the Midwest into the South. So it'll bring a risk of tornadoes, damaging winds, told you, that's never fun, and large hail, so be well aware. We do expect our drivers to use caution when traveling in any of these areas, of course, especially within the next 36 hours. Now, pay attention. The conditions to these conditions, that they could be changing. I think I actually have some of these that I can show you. Give me a sec, because I was thinking about this, and now that you actually brought it up, let's actually show you some of these weather issues here. But yeah, please be well aware of it, because it is definitely lots of wind coming about with that. And if you're empty, that can be extremely dangerous. And honestly, with the amount of wind there is, it could be dangerous all the way around. And there are all kinds of warnings. We've got road closures anywhere from Wyoming to pretty much anywhere. Here we go. There you go. I'll be moving to Decker after Easter. Awesome! Well, we look forward to having you here. Easter is in, 2 weeks? It's on the 9th. I gotta remember what day it is. Okay, so at a severe weather is expected on Tuesday into Wednesday into the Midwest and in the South. Tornadoes, like I mentioned. What else do we have here? Dangerous nighttime tornadoes are possible, so even more so be careful, because when you're trying to rest up, it can be even more dangerous. This threat includes some of the same areas that we were hit on Friday's outbreak. Yeah, no rest for you. No rest when it comes to those tornadoes and all that weather that we've been surrounded with, or a lot of you have been surrounded with, I should say. What else does it say here? Let's see if I've got this. Outbreak of severe weather in parts of the Midwest and South, damaging winds, large hail, possible tornadoes, severe thunderstorms. I can't read. Let's actually get... Sorry, I'm trying to rearrange all my visuals here for you, so I've got them going in all different directions. Let's see how difficult I can make this. There we go. There you go. Hey, Katie. All right. What else do they say? Severe thunderstorms are possible in the areas in the southeastern Minnesota, southern Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, southward to portions of Missouri, Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, and eastern Texas. So getting it all over. Destructive straight line winds, large hail, tornadoes are all concerns, and some tornadoes could be stronger than EF2 or higher intensity. So I know Angela, Diane, a few people have posted in the Facebook group, the driver Facebook group here at Decker, just warning you and kind of giving you some of these visuals as well. So I haven't been the only one posting these. Shout out to Stephen and Greg and everybody who's been sending in all of these alerts as well, because we appreciate them. One area is from central Missouri into central and eastern Iowa, far southern Wisconsin and western Illinois. These severe thunderstorms could occur from this afternoon here on Tuesday into the evening, and like I said, some of them are going into Wednesday as well. There'll be 2 corridors for relatively higher threat of severe weather, as depicted in the red area that you can see right now. Can you see that? Tuesday to Tuesday night. Okay. And then the other corridor extends from southern Missouri into Arkansas, southeast Oklahoma, and far northeastern Texas. This activity is most likely to occur during the overnight hours of tonight into early Wednesday morning, which means dangerous nighttime tornadoes are possible. Given nighttime tornadoes and severe thunderstorms are expected, lots of suggests for getting rest. And into Wednesday, that'll spread east towards Wednesday. It'll produce more severe weather as it pushes further east, especially into the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, Mid-South, including Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, Memphis. Damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes again possible. Some tornadoes could be pretty strong. At least isolated severe thunderstorms might be ongoing early in the morning on the western edge of the threat. So you can see St. Louis, Little Rock, Shreveport, Houston is more of the western side of it. Yeah, so it's definitely. Oh, Katie reminds you guys, if you are in the Fort Dodge area right now, any of our drivers in Fort Dodge will be provided lunch with the food truck, the Feed Shack food truck. That's serving some pork chop sandwiches. There's some pulled chicken sandwiches, haystacks, and a drink. What are haystacks? Pulled pork nachos and a drink. Those are all available. So with the pulled pork sandwich and the pulled chicken sandwich, that comes with 2 sides and a drink. So again, Decker does provide that to all of our drivers who will be in Fort Dodge today until 1:30. So it started at 11:30 and it's going to 1:30. So if you're there, hop on in. Now, for some of our in-house peeps, it is $5. Decker will cover the additional, the overage, I guess you should say. So it's a $5 lunch for you. And then Decker will cover everything else. Katie says, according to their menu, the haystack is a corn chip, pulled pork, shack sauce, baked beans, and slaw in a boat topped with shredded cheese. Awesome. Hey, what does it say? Hey, say it's a fan favorite. Oh, they say it's a fan favorite. I need to blow up my my chat. I can't, or the comments. I can barely read them. Starting to squint. They say, I got you. Okay, so yeah, Decker's covering that for all of our drivers if you're in the Fort Dodge area. So please stop by. It sounds delicious, doesn't that? Yes. So that's all happening today until 1:30. And thank goodness for Katie for reminding me, because I totally forgot to talk about it yesterday. Speaking of things that we didn't really address yesterday, today, and through the end of the month, we do have our safety training. So we have our quarterly safety training available to all of our drivers. And today's, let's see, the first, it was all sent in, on the 1st? April 1st. Yes, it wasn't an April Fool's thing. It was legit. It happened. I don't know. And also, speaking of yesterday we drew the winner for the referral bonus. I'm sorry. Katie says it's due May 1st. Yeah, which, that's right, in a month. So it started on the 1st of April. All right, so yesterday we drew our winner for the quarterly referral bonus. Let's make sure I'm getting these right. Now, our referral bonus has all kinds of pieces and incentives to it. First of all, you get $1,500 for every driver you refer who's hired on, and it pays within 90 days of hire. Now, that can go up. So if you refer for 5 drivers within the calendar year, you're actually going to get paid $2,000 for the 4th and 5th driver instead of the $1,500. Still pays within the 90 days, but it goes up. And then, of course, if you have 6 or more within the calendar year who you've referred and who have also hired on, then that will go up yet again to $2,500 for the 6th, 7th, 8th, and so on. Now, you can earn, these are all these different levels. You can also earn the Grand Champion prize, the Grand Champion referral prize, not to be confused with the Grand Champion Decker overall Driver of the Year prize, which is a $15,000 prize. But the Driver Referral Grand Champion, it is required that you have 5 referrals within the calendar year, so that very, very minimum. And then you have to be the top referrer, so the top referrer of everybody. So if there's a couple people who have 5, or if there's a couple of people who have 5 and someone has 6, obviously the one who has 6 gets the title, the Grand Champion, and that's another $2,500 in bonuses. So ultimately, I mean, I want to say you can make over $11,000, but the thing is you can make a lot more than that. But yeah, so if you have any questions, you want to go ahead and take a look at it, you can go to our website, drivedecker.com/driver-referral. And Katie's already put that up there for you in the chat, so you can go ahead and click on that and check that out if you'd like to. Within that, you can actually see some of the breakdown of our who's referred and how many people they've referred and all that good stuff. That's on the website as well, plus all of the other incentives. We've got business cards and tumblers. We've got gift cards, $100 gift cards. With 3 referrals or more. We also have the Grand Champion, or not the Grand Champion jacket, but we have a jacket. Once you've referred 5, it's a referral jacket. And, actually, it is now changed to a watch. So we changed that this year. It is now a driver referral watch that you will get. And it sounds like it's pretty sharp. So we'll get some images out of that for you as well, so you can see some of what you can win. But there's a lot of referral incentives out there. Plus, what we did yesterday was the drawing. So I filled this sucker with 23 names yesterday. I had 23 names, actually 24. We had to add one last minute. And so everybody who referred somebody within the first quarter, so has to be referred and hired on, not only referred, but hired on within the first quarter of 2023, your name was entered into the hat, which is actually a cooler provided by Steph in the store. Anyways, your name was entered in for a drawing. We had 2 people who have already referred 2 drivers within the calendar year, Jonathan Boyle and who else? Rashawn Richardson. So we have 2, their name was entered in there twice. Now, this is going to be brand new next quarter. So in July, when we do the drawing, we'll have a whole new batch of names based off of who referred within the second quarter. But the name drawn receives their choice of a tablet, a laptop, or $1,000. Our winner yesterday was Zachary Reeves. So congratulations to Zach. He chose the money, which actually, I'm not sure if this will surprise anybody, but so far in the years that we've done this, the money has been the chosen prize. Surprised? No? Me neither. That's just what's going to happen. So congratulations to Zachary Reeves for winning this first quarter. Like I said, we had 23 names. If we continue on this with this number of referrals quarter by quarter, by the end of the year, we will match last year's record, earning almost 144,000. So it would be 144,000 paid out or eligible for payouts for the referral bonus. Yeah, that is the highest payout or earnings that we've had for the referral since we started. And Katie says, another drawing will be happening soon. Everyone who completed in the safety drawing in their first 24 hours is entered to win 1 of 10 Pilot gift cards. Is that not cool? Yeah, I mean, why stop there, right? So this part is new. So moving on from the referral bonus, let's talk about the quarterly safety training. The quarterly safety training, it changes from quarter to quarter, obviously. And this one is more on getting out and look, distractive driving, being aware of it. April is Distractive Driving Awareness Month, if you weren't already aware of that. So if you're not, it is, and now you are. And of course, there's ways that you can avoid distractive driving, and we'll go through some of that, and you can actually see some of that as well on the training. The training consists of a video followed by a couple of questions, and then another video and a few more questions, and so on. It's a pretty quick training. I'm required to do it just as much as our drivers. However, I don't get my name in the drawing. Katie doesn't get her name in the drawing, but all of our drivers who complete the quarterly safety training within the first 24 hours get their name put into another hat or another cooler or whatever. I think it's actually a bin. Katie usually does this. And Katie, do you have any idea when you'll be doing it, or is it going to be a pop-up? I love it when they're pop-up lives. Those are more fun for me than, like, oh, hello, I'm live, and guess what we're doing? We're giving away something. But she's giving away 10 Pilot Flying J gift cards to someone who finished the training within the first 24 hours. So all those names are entered in, and she's already got the possible winners, and she'll draw them out for the winning the Pilot Flying J gift cards. That said, if you weren't someone who finished within the first 24 hours, make sure that you are the next quarter so that you can get in on the prizes. Yeah, Dean says, of course, the money, a laptop, a tablet, they're even, well, some of them aren't, but they're of equal value. I should have mentioned that. $1,000 or a tablet or laptop of equal value. Mm-hmm. Katie says she loves the pop-up too. See? They're fun. Because it's like, oh, surprise, here we are. But I believe Katie will be doing that. She'll probably have a partner in crime helping her out as well. I think, it was last time, I think in January, December, I guess, you had the safety department joining you, I think, right? She says, we appreciate our drivers who put the safety first and are eager to complete the training as soon as possible. Yes, before what we did is we would take the first 10. But after being reminded that, a lot of people are driving during that time, we were able to take the suggestion and switch it up. So now we can we'll draw for somebody who completed within the 24 hours. So now it's more fair, right? Recognizing that. She says, last quarter was Marissa from Safety who drew the names. That's right. But like I said, Katie will be there making sure, manning it all behind the camera and in front. Every once in a while you'll get to see her and as we announce the winners, as she announces the winners. Dean. Okay. So, also a couple other reminders for those of you before I start getting into answering some of the questions that you guys have. Of course, if you have the questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll stop whatever I'm talking about to answer those. But another reminder, our ComData cards are being upgraded. And so if you haven't already gotten a new one, you should be getting them within the next 3 months. So you have 3 months to get it updated to the new one. Please do so as soon as possible. And once you get it, it usually takes 1 to 2 days for that upgrade to happen or for it to transfer over into that new card, the Comdata card. We'll need that information, of course, on the card. So whether you're picking it up at a shop or a terminal, we'll need to get that information over to Janelle, and then she can get it into the system and upgraded so that your card is live and ready to rock. Also talking about the Comdata card, we can now use, well, most of you guys are already doing this. With the CatScale app, you use the Comdata card that's attached, your Comdata card for the CatScale app. Now, in the past, and this is just brand new as of April 1st or April 3rd, but in the past, what we would do is we would have you send in the receipt from the CatScale app once you received it, and then get it into payroll along with the rest of your paperwork. You no longer have to take that step of scanning or sending over the receipt into payroll. That is an automatic or automatically completed for you through using the CatScale app on the TransFlow. So we've got the TransFlow system, the tablet in the truck. You can also use the TransFlow app on your phone. That's another option. And once you get in there, you check in, and it'll come directly over to the payroll department. So you're good. You don't have to. Katie says, Dean, I saw your name. You must have been one of the first 24. That's good to see. Did it Saturday morning, he says. So with the Comdata and the CatScale, there's nothing that you guys need to worry about when we switched that over. It really isn't going to affect you at all, except on the positive where you don't have to take that next step. Now, if the location that you're going into requires you to come in, then they'll continue to send that over. So you don't have to worry too much about that. Right, Katie? Am I saying that right? Because I know that was a little bit different than we initially thought. So I'll have her confirm that. Yeah. I was just looking for the comment earlier to make sure that we were good. Okay, so the attendant will do the direct billing inside, is what she said. So if you go and pay inside, you do have to use your Comdata card and submit a receipt. So is that right? If you use the app, it will be direct bill. If you go inside to pay, still use your card. Okay, there you go. So for the Comdata and the CatScale app, if you are using your app, it'll be a direct bill. If you're going in to pay the bill inside, it'll be you'll still be using your card. So you don't have to worry about that. Safe. You're safe. All right. Anything else? Like I said, you guys have another hour before the pulled pork sandwiches or the pulled chicken sandwiches. Basically, the Feed Shack food truck that's in Fort Dodge, that is going to be there until 1:30 today. So make sure that you go and grab something if you are right there at the terminal. Decker will cover the bill for you. All right, let's dive into some of the available positions and what we've got coming on here at Decker. Before I do that, Katie says, and even if you need to get the steps in, yes, that's right, I remember this. Even if you need to get the steps in and want to go into the station, you can still pay using your app. There you go. Was a question we got. All right, so let's talk about some of those positions that we have and kind of the flow for how this works. If you are looking to come aboard to Decker, and maybe you've already done your application, maybe you've already been approved, and you're wondering what your next step is, orientation is a 3-day orientation. It starts with the online orientation and doing your physical and your drug test before you even get here. So complete your orientation online, complete your physical and your urinalysis before coming aboard. Also your clearinghouse, which most of you have already done. You would have had to already have done it. You just send over that information or sign into it and sign off so that Decker has that information available. The clearinghouse is your drug and alcohol information, and it's through the SaferStat. So anyways, through the clearinghouse. So that is part of the pre-orientation that you can complete before coming to the in-person orientation in Fort Dodge, Iowa. So again, you'll have the clearinghouse, you'll have your online orientation, which consists of a video followed by a couple of questions, and then another video followed by a couple of questions, and you'll go through that series until completed. That must be done before you are dispatched out. And then you have your physical and your drug test as well. Ideally, those 4 things that I just named, your physical, your drug test, the urinalysis, your Luma training or your online orientation, as well as your clearinghouse, those 4 things must be completed before coming to orientation, and most definitely have to be completed before you're dispatched. Okay. All right. Orientation does pay $1,000 for the 3-day orientation. Now, if you are a student and this is brand new to you, you're just coming out of a certified school and you're looking to come aboard to Decker, then we can train you in most divisions. We can train you. The orientation, however, will be a 1-week orientation versus a 3-day orientation. There's more information that we need to go over, more hands-on training that you'll do before you go out with a trainer. It still pays $1,000 for the orientation. We'll continue to take care of your hotel and your meals while you're here. And again, when you transfer into the training and out on the road with a trainer, it's $700 a week. And you're usually with a trainer for about 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I'm going to backpedal just here a second ago. I mentioned that we take care of your hotel and your meals while you're here. And of course, paid orientation. When we do have you sign an agreement, which is a repayment agreement. Now, this repayment agreement is to recognize that Decker does take care of these expenses for you. We take care of the hotel. We take care of the your food and your room and board and of course your orientation and your physical and the drug test. Those fees that they add up. So we recognize that we want you to recognize as well that Decker is covering that cost. Now, after you've been here 6 months, there's nothing that you need to worry about because that cost is null and void. But if you were to leave within the first 6 months, you could be responsible for a portion of that. We knock $100 off every month, and then, like I said, at 6 months, it's null and void. But I do want you to be aware of those expenses that Decker does cover for you, and that we do have an agreement between you, our driver, as well as Decker, the company. So anyways, that you'll see that during the online orientation as well. Whether you're a student or whether you're an experienced driver, the orientation pay is $1,000. Now, if you have not applied yet and you're looking to apply, I have this little runner coming across the screen here. It does give the web address, which is drivedecker.com. That's where you can find the application. And if you click on the upper right-hand corner of the page, it says apply now. That's going to be the full application. There is a quick app, so if you just have a couple of questions and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to put my information in there, maybe a recruiter will call me and give me some details. That's an option. But if you want to put the full application in, just go to apply now. You can get the information in there. It is an Intelli app, so if you filled out one of those out before, it's super quick. And then a recruiter will call you after they reviewed your application, and you can kind of go through things together and make sure that you qualify. You can also call us at 877-233-2537, and a recruiter can walk you through and answer some questions for you as well. That way we can be even more specific. Now, I am more than happy to answer your questions right here and hopefully provide you a wealth of knowledge about Decker and what the process is. But for you specifically, if you're wondering, okay, well, what am I going to get paid? What are my running lanes, et cetera, feel free to give the recruiter a call so you can call him or you can speak to him directly. But with that said, I'm going to do my best to go into more specifics on the positions that we do have. So once you've been approved, once you've spoke to a recruiter and you've gone through orientation and you're like, okay, so what's my next step? And you've completed the orientation. Now, when you're actually here in Fort Dodge, we will have you also do the hair follicle test and go through additional company policies and procedures in class. Elaine will walk you through a few things, and you'll have Tanner and Steve Tanner and Stephen go through a few other things there. Mike will also be introducing himself to the class, the director of training. And then you'll have a handful of other management and driver managers visiting with you to kind of give you the lay of the land and what to expect, and giving you some resources such as, hey, you can contact us if you have any questions, reach out to me, here's my business card, this is my direct line. Because when you first start anything that's new to you, you have those worries like, well, who am I going to contact for this? Or what am I going to do? And sometimes you don't have the worries then. Maybe it's when you're released and you're on your own and you're like, okay, that was really quick. Now what do I do? That's what we're preparing you for. We want to make sure that you have the resources such as the telephone numbers and email addresses and the, how to get a hold of. Katie is a prime example. She comes and she introduces herself as a representative of the communications department and shows you all of the different ways that we provide you the information, whether it be through the TransFlow unit, the communication through that, or if it's from your driver manager, or if it's from our weekly newsletter. Every week she puts together a newsletter with information on up-to-date policies and procedures, things that are going on throughout the industry, or maybe just within Decker itself. And of course, a few highlights as well, like our employee spotlights or our awards, our safety jackets. I mean, there's lots of bragging to do within the newsletter as well that we like to honor. Actually, I shouldn't say bragging, but we definitely like to honor our drivers and our in-house, our support staff as well within that newsletter. But it keeps you up to date and it kind of connects you to the rest of the Decker family. So we've got communication that way. We've got our social media platforms, and we've got a lot of them that we're available to you, answering questions, whether it's through these lives or whether it's just a one-on-one message like Facebook Messenger, or maybe you're responding to a couple of questions, or maybe I'm responding to a couple of questions that you might have put on one of our videos or pre-recorded video. It's totally fine. We also have our podcast, which we have 63? How many episodes do we have? I can't remember. That's moved. We started off our podcast on a pretty regular basis, and I think it was a weekly basis. And now Darren thought he needed to go back over the road and make some money, and he's been doing them sporadically for us, answering some questions, and that's fun because again, that's kind of like a hey, pop up, here we are. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, then please reach out to us. That's what we're here for. We want to make sure that you have a good understanding of what Decker is all about. And of course, we can take your suggestions and make things happen, which obviously you can see with some of the things that we've done here even recently, we've done so. There we go. Katie says we do have our podcast, which was our most recent podcast actually, about our training program, and you can link it right there. So she did link the podcast. You can also find it on our YouTube channel as well. And if you just go to the playlist for our podcast, you'll be able to see it. And Elaine was interviewed. We also have, so what's nice is that you've got the perspective from one of the trainers, and then you've got the perspective of a driver that has been here for quite some time, and then a driver who has started through as a brand new, coming right out of college, and graduating into the training program and how he's progressed throughout. So it's pretty cool just to get the different viewpoints and what they felt was the most important gold nugget from all of it, right? So you do get all of that. But all of our podcasts, you can dive into those, and there's quite a bit of information among those as well. Anyways, that's also available to you. So you'll have your orientation once you've been approved and you've done your orientation, and now you're out on the road. So the refrigerated division runs, there's two of them, two different running lanes that you can really stick to. We've got our over-the-road, we've got our over-the-road refrigerated division, which is like coast to coast. Most of it's going to be west of the Mississippi, but really it's coast to coast. A lot of west, a lot of Midwest. And then we have our more regional refrigerated, which can get you home on a weekly basis. Now, that being said, you can even find smaller entities in there that run a little bit more, I don't want to say dedicated, but a little bit more regional than others. A lot of shorter runs in some of those, but they rack up and the guaranteed pay is there. So with our divisions, whether it's our over-the-road refrigerated division or our more regional refrigerated division, or home weekly, or even our flatbed divisions, we do offer guaranteed pay in each of those divisions, and it's based off of the division that you are, the area that you are living in and what's available out of there. So let's say you're out of, Wichita, okay? Wichita, Kansas. That one is an over-the-road refrigerated position. It guarantees $1,000 a week. If you live in Omaha or Kansas City or, somewhere where we have freight, like a lot of freight in, you're going in and out, these are some shorter runs that are going to be available, and they're home weekly. That one guarantees you $1,250 a week. So if you're wondering why the difference is, with the $1,000 a week guaranteed pay, you can run more miles and really longer miles and get more, because you're going to get the better of the two between that guaranteed pay, which is like a safety net, versus the rate of pay per mile that you're getting and the number of miles that you ran. So you'll get the better of those two. And the same thing applies to the more regional or home weekly option, where you'll get the better of the two between the $1,250 in that refrigerated division, or the cents per mile and the miles that you ran. The only thing is, with the $1,250, you're running a lot of shorter miles, so you're not as likely to rack up the miles as you would with the over-the-road, where you've got the growth possibilities are much higher. So we make sure that you've got a strong guaranteed pay that you can use to budget and rely on each and every week. Now, there are requirements to meet in order to get that guaranteed pay. So you must be available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week. No load refusals, so no driver service failures, and no driver service failures. Get your paperwork in on time. So paperwork must be in by 10 p.m. on Sunday night in order to qualify for the guaranteed pay. And no CSA violations or points against you, or preventable DOT recordable accidents, or any incidents, preventable incidents within the week. So those are the 6 requirements. Pretty basic, I know, but they're there and they're in place to make sure that we've got a good balance and on that guaranteed pay. Now, your rate of pay per mile is going to be based off of your experience level. So anywhere from someone who's brand new to the industry, like I just got out of college, I just graduated with my Class A CDL, I'm ready to rock, you're looking at 52, 53 cents a mile, depending on flatbed or refrigerated. And then to somebody who's got 15 plus years experience, who's making 70 cents a mile. Now, those are the base. 10 cents of that's per diem, so you're not taxed on it, but those are the bases. If you're looking to make more, we've got our monthly bonuses, our scorecard, our safety bonus. That's an extra 5 cents a mile for our company drivers. Owner-operators lease purchase, it'll rack you up into another 4 cents a mile. So you definitely have those possibilities. So let's talk about flatbed now that I kind of hinted towards the guaranteed pays and the process here. So if you're in the flatbed division, again, we've got a guaranteed pay of $1,000 with your over the road or even some of the regional. But then we have a couple of areas that we do guarantee a little bit more. We have $1,450 if guaranteed pay for the home weekly. Again, these are shorter runs, and you're running anywhere with Iowa City. You do need to live within this area. This is not your running area per se, but it is for the most part. But you do need to live within the area. Iowa City, Iowa to St. Louis, Missouri, over to Columbus, Ohio, up north to Toledo, back over to Milwaukee, or to Chicago, up to Milwaukee, and down to Mason City and Fort Dodge, and down to Iowa City. So anything in between there, that is within the hiring area for that flatbed division, and that one will guarantee you $1,450 a week. Now, if you live in Chicago, then not only can we get you home weekly, we can guarantee you $1,700 a week. Now, again, remember that those lanes, those runs are going to be shorter runs, just like that $1,450 division. Those are shorter runs than our over-the-road division. But we do guarantee you that a little bit more on a weekly basis to make sure that you're getting that you can budget off of that, right? Okay. If you have questions, remember that number is 877-233-2537, and you can get a hold of a recruiter directly. And if any of this sounds good to you, again, please apply at drivedecker.com. Hopefully we're able to take care of you and hire out of your area. Because I know it's a big question. Do you hire out of my area? What do you have? Refrigerated flatbed is the majority of what we have currently available. If you're wondering about our trucks, we're mostly the 579 Peterbilts. We have some 760, 860, 780 Volvos, and a few Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions. They're all newer model trucks. They have APUs and inverters and refrigerators and microwaves and CB units and navigation, Sirius radio equipped. They have EpicView satellite TV, which is 100 plus channels. It's company paid. It's a 22-inch TV that comes with it. Did I say microwaves? We have microwaves as well as the refrigerator. The bunk heaters, of course. We have the double bunk trucks. We have both driver and passenger side air ride seats. We have free Wi-Fi in the truck through the Transflow Geotab unit that we use. We do have both inward and outward facing event recorders. Those kick on during a critical event. Otherwise, they're not constant recording is what I'm saying. There's no live feed. And then the trucks are fully equipped. They have a lot on them, right? And it's because we want to make sure that you are comfortable and you have the resources that you need or, want, because the TV isn't something necessarily you need, but it's comfortable when you do have some downtime. You've got 10 hours of sleeper that we want you to relax and rest. And sometimes you just need a few, an hour of Netflix to chill, right? They are smart TVs as well. So, and if you stream, if you don't use the Sirius Radio, but you want to stream podcasts and whatnot, like I said, we have the free Wi-Fi available to you as well. If you have any questions whatsoever, please give us a call at 877-233-2537, and we'd be happy to answer those questions. Now, benefits. Benefits start after 60 days, and we have quite a bit of benefits available to you, including a 50% match on the 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance. We have dental and vision available. We have long-term and short-term disability. We also have the EAP program, which is the Employee Assistance Program. That's available to our drivers, their families, etc., and our in-house as well. So if you're wondering about benefits, they do start after 60 days. They are available to you, and they're going to be based, the expense of some of the benefits or the premiums on some of them will be determined based off of whether you're a tobacco user or non-tobacco, and if you're going for a higher deductible or a lower deductible, maybe you're looking more at the premium. So again, if you have questions, give our recruiters a call at 877-233-2537 so that we can answer those questions for you. Cool? All right. Well, you guys, I appreciate you taking the time to join me today. We will see you next week, same time, same place. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so as we release a number of shorts throughout the week, as well as our live events that we do every Tuesday at noon Central. We're also on Facebook at 4 p.m. Central every Monday if you want to join us there as well. All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to complete the quarterly safety training if you have not done so. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Stay safe. Like I said, the weather is most definitely coming. It is scheduled to be here now and through the Wednesday morning. So make sure that you guys are staying safe, put yourself in a safe spot, and communicate to your driver manager. I think that is one of the things that is often overlooked. If you are pulling over or if you do need to find safe haven, that is fine. You just need to communicate with your DM so that they can relay the information to those who need to know beyond that. Okay? Cool. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.